we are going to bring in a few more chairs because we are claiming that we are going to have a full house tonight. But come on in, have a seat, por favor, pasen, siéntense. Wait a few more minutes while we put down the chair so we don't have to interrupt. So give us a few minutes, please. Good evening and welcome. Well, in the interest of time, we are going to go ahead and get started, but I just want to name that we may have a small disruption bringing in more chairs. I am super excited to see you all. I am Principal Cepeda. It is nice to be here for the 11th Back to School Night at River Terrace Education Campus. Welcome back for those of you who have been here and parents for a few years. And for our new parents, bienvenidos al Río. Aquí estamos para servirles a todos. I also want to welcome our community partners. Thank you for being with us tonight. They are consistently here supporting our student population, so we just want to say thank you. Tonight we are going to give you a great overview about what our priorities are, who our leaders are, and our programs, some of our funding allocation, and then we will give you an opportunity to go to the classroom and to meet our teachers and our educators. So the goal is to cover everything by 7 o'clock so that from 7 to 7:30 you have the opportunity to spend time in the classroom. First and foremost, I would like to introduce you to Mission Control. Those are all of the leaders that everyone here is a leader, right? But we have some that are a little closer to me, so I'd like you all to come to the front. And we are going to introduce ourselves. Once again, I am Principal Aimee Cepeda. I am the founding principal of River Terrace, have been here since the building was built, and I'm just honored to continue to serve in this capacity. Turning it over to AP Lewis Butler.
Good night, everyone. How's everyone doing? Good to see your faces. It's great to be here to connect and also to renew our commitment to our students here at River Terrace. I'm happy to be the second year assistant principal, and I'm looking forward to great things this year.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dave Knight. I am the Director of Specialized Instruction, which is a fancy way of saying I'm in charge of compliance and transportation and making sure that all that stuff gets done. I oversee the upper grades, our post-secondary unit, and welcome, I'm glad you're here.
Hi everybody, I'm Ms. Andrews, the attendance counselor. This is my 4th year here at River Terrace, and I oversee all things attendance. Anything attendance come through me, and I also see attendance for the entire school as well.
Hi everyone, I'm Christine Kelly. I'm the manager of specialized instruction. This is year 2 for me as well. My buckets include supporting our amazing educational and dedicated aides on campus, and also our multi-tiered systems of support.
My name is Autumn Kelly, and I'm one of the instructional coaches here. I work primarily with the students and the teachers in the upper grades.
Hi, my name is Molly. I am also one of the instructional coaches here and the math instructional coach for grades 3 through 12. This is my 11th year at the River. And so I get to support all of the students and teachers in grades K through 12, or 3 to 12.
And we have other amazing leaders that we will be introducing a little later on so we can keep the program going. I do want to acknowledge 3 staff members that have been here since day 1. One of them is Molly. She's been here since 2015. Mr. Hollingsworth, one of our teachers, has always been here since 2015, as well as Miss Allen, our elementary teacher. She has been here since 2015. There are others, they're just not present in the room right now. And so collectively, we are the leadership team in the school, and we are fully invested to make sure that our students and our staff receive the support and the resources that they need to be highly effective. Thank you, team. You clap. So our mission here at River Terrace is simple. We want to remove barriers for our students. Out there in society, most people, what they see is what the students cannot do. Here, we turn that around, and we are fully discovering everything that our scholars can do by making things accessible for them and making it fun. That is our whole mission, to remove barriers to the education, to the activities of daily living, to employment, whatever the goals are for our students. We want to remove barriers so that they can get to that goal. Our vision that's aspiring is to really create pathways for our students to get employment if they want to gain employment, live independently, get resources beyond our school doors. That's why when they exit us, they connect with RSA and DDA, and they can continue to get the supports that they need to be successful. Our core values, or the principles that guide our work, are respect, integrity, and a commitment to excellence. We always do as much as we can for our scholars and our behaviors, the norms that we live by, our professionalism, positivity, teamwork, and dedication. Our priorities are the same as the district. We are a school, so we do want to make sure that our students succeed academically, and that's not just reading and math. It could be life skills, it could be employability skills. Right now we have an Academy of Digital Literacy, which is brand new and I'm super excited about. So we continue to push the barriers away so that we can create more opportunities for our students to succeed. Again, not just academically, but with everything that we do. We also want to make sure that our students, our staff, and our families feel safe and a sense of belonging. So we work constantly to build relationships and to make sure that we stay connected with you, our family, and our staff, because we do understand that communication and collaboration is key for us to know how to best meet the needs of your children. We also want to provide our students with equitable access to opportunities. That's why I mentioned we create academies, and we just continue to allocate for the students to have access to what their non-disabled peers normally have, but students with intellectual disabilities may not, right? And then we want to make sure, not so much that our students graduate on time, although I will be telling you about the Equity Academy in just a little while, so hold that thought. But we definitely want to make sure that our students have access to post-secondary pathways, right? Once the students reach age 22, what do? Do they just go home? No, we don't want them to go home. We want them to go out there in society and be visible and be seen and be heard. So those are our priorities, not only to make sure that the students get the best education that they have, but they are in school, they are engaged, they feel safe and a sense of belonging, and that we create opportunities for them to have beyond their River Terrace years. And so next, we are going to give you more information about our academic programs. Elby?
So, on our LB, we serve students from elementary all the way to post-secondary. And so our programming starts from elementary to high school, and we call that our lower grades, our lower school, and we serve 3rd through 12th. Our teachers who are here, I'm going to call your name if you can just raise your hand. We have Ms. Darlene Allen, 3rd through 5th. And like Dr. Spada said, she has been here for the duration of the time that River Terrace has existed. We also have Ms. Karen Vitale. Ms. Karen is one of our new teachers this year. She has served as one of our assistants, and so we're happy that she has moved into the teacher role to continue to support our students. We have another new teacher who came to us from the state of New York, and her name is Kristen Rambert. Are you in here? Not yet? Okay, we need to go get Miss Rambert. And she serves 9th through 10th. Miss Kenner, where's Miss Kenner? Is she, no, Miss Kenner's not here, okay. She's coming, she serves the 11th grade. Miss Oates, who serves our 12th grade class, where she is. And we have Mr. Joseph Wanstead, who serves our high school CES. Ms. Hochstein, Molly, and I, we are the leaders who support the 3rd through 12th grade. This year I'll be serving as well as an instructional coach for ELA, and Ms. Hochstein will be serving as the instructional coach for mathematics.
Next, we have the upper grades.
Hello, it's me again. I oversee our two of our programs. Actually, it's now 3 of them. Kind of, Dr. Spada and I kind of share the academies. But I'm going to talk about the PSTEP program and the Workforce Development Center, or the WDC. Students with an IEP are entitled to education through the age of 22. So when students graduate from or move on from the lower grades, the 3rd through 12th, they're eligible for a high school certificate. Mostly, again, we got more stuff coming on that. But the post-secondary program, the PSTEP program, continues instruction in mathematics and English language arts, but also talks about transition and community living. And a school-based enterprise program is one of the classrooms that our students have, where each classroom has their own business that they make crafts for, or they make coffee, make gift cards. Each classroom has their own kind of little niche for that. And all that's housed in the building. We also have the Workforce Development Center that has three suites. We have a hospitality suite, and we have a healthcare suite, and we have a horticulture suite. Now these programs are very, very, very community integrated to the point where they're actually in the building 1 day a week, and they are actually out at internship sites 4 days a week. So again, very hands-on, very integrated training, helping our students get those, get exposed to those experiences. The teachers we have, and if you can raise your hand, in our PSTEP program are Ms. Amy Banzano, Ms. Michelle Lorenz, and they're actually paired. What we've departmentalized those two classrooms. Ms. Banzano is teaching the ELA portion for both classes, and Ms. Lorenz is teaching the math portion for both classes. as kind of a test to see if we can get that to work. Ms. McNeil Tucker was not able to be with us today. Hopefully she'll be back tomorrow. But her educational aide is here to hold down the fort in that classroom. We also have Ms. Andrew, way to go. We have Mr. Ralph Patterson, who's a PSTEP teacher. Here. And Mr. James Mann, who is our PSTEP CDS teacher. In the Workforce Development Center, we have, again, veteran Mr. Hollingsworth. We have Ms. Stone. And we have Dr. Massimo. And that's PSTEP and WDC.
All right, thank you, Mr. Knight. We have some seats available in the front, so don't be shy. If you want to come to the front, we do have some seats available. And team, if you would be so kind to ask for more chairs. We claim that we're going to have a full house. We're going to have a full house tonight, right? Just to give a little more context for our families and our parents, you know, while the school starts instruction at 3rd grade, we actually reverse engineered our program. So like 11 years ago, we thought, what is it that our students are going to need to be as independent as possible in the community? And we reverse engineer that all the way to 3rd grade. So again, the students learn life skills, math, reading to the best of their ability, communication to the best of their ability, activities of daily living. We want the students to be able to feed themselves independently if possible, to go to the bathroom independently if possible, to achieve tasks independently if possible. So we start that from 3rd grade all the way up. As Dave mentioned, because we are a public school, 3rd through 12 looks more like what it would look like in the comprehensive high school. And then, because our students stay in school beyond 12th grade, we had to figure out what would be the best programs that we could offer our students. So the school only opened up with the Workforce Development Center. And Mr. Hollingsworth, who's been here since day one, the purpose of that program is for the students to get vocational skills, right? They do have a certain level of independence. They are able to perform some of the tasks independently or minimal support. And so the students apply from all the other high schools in DC, the students that are on the certificate track, and they get to choose if they want to go in the hospitality suite, in the health services suite, or in the horticulture suite. Because our students stay here until age 22, and the WDC program is a 1-year program, we have to figure out, well, what do we do after that 1 year? Because they haven't aged out, they're still here, right? So we want to continue to offer them opportunities. So a few years back, the district came out with a post-secondary training and education program. That's additional instruction for the students that may not be able to go out into the work world independently, right? And for those students that are a little more academically advanced, we realized we really need to get the students some industry certification or something that says to society, these students can do the work. And that's how the NAF, that's the National Academy Foundation, we are the only school that has an academy for hospitality and tourism for students with intellectual disabilities nationwide. So we have been recognized nationwide for serving very important students. While society may not see what we see, we want to make sure that they have equitable access, right? So the academy is going on its 4th year, and we've had 2 classes that have fully graduated with a certificate for food handling, and we're also preparing our students to be certified in customer service gold. And those are industry certifications that put our students closer to employment. Well, some of the students didn't want to do that, so we have to figure out what else can we do with the students, right? Some of our students over the past few have expressed the desire to earn a high school diploma. And I want to give a shout out to Ms. Hamilton Smith. She's in the back, Mr. Crocker. So this past year, I advocated to the central office to give us the opportunity to create a program where our students can be prepared, those that can, to receive a high school diploma. And I just want to honor Ms. Hamilton Smith because she courageously jumped in this boat with us, and we're not exactly knowing where we're going, but we're going to get there, right? So our goal is to do everything that we can to help our students receive a high school diploma for those that are able to, and we've also partnered with a charter school. So if they're not able to do it in the 4th year, they're here, they can continue even after they leave us, right? And in the process of putting together that Equity Academy so that the students can earn a high school diploma, Ossie mentioned that there's an opportunity for the students to get a certification on digital literacy. And I was like, tell me more about that, right? Well, how many of you have a cell phone? You all have a cell phone, right? So using technology like a cell phone, sending email, getting telehealth visits over your cell phone, being able to use Word or Excel or PowerPoint. The students will learn all of that in the Digital Literacy Academy. And I want to honor Ms. Angela. Go ahead and stand up, Ms. Angela. Because she also jumped in that boat with me, and we're not exactly sure where we're going, but we're going to do it, right? So I say all that to say that we are consistently looking for opportunities for our students. So as parents, we want you to let us know, what is it that you want for your child? But more importantly, we also want to hear it from your children, right? We want to give our students a voice. We want our students to be seen. And so when they give us feedback, right, like last year, they said, I don't want to be in the NAP Academy anymore. Okay, well, let's figure out what else we can do so that our students can keep coming to school, they're excited about coming to school, and they stay engaged. So those are the 3 academies that we have available for our students. Sometimes the students decide to go to the Workforce Development Center. After that, they can go into one of these academies, or if they don't want to go into the Workforce Development Center, if they try it and decide they don't like it, they can go to one of the academies. All right, and then we also have our inner core teachers. So our inner core teachers are the teachers that do all the fun stuff, right? Like art and music and PE and aquatics, and that just really balances out the academics with some of that fun stuff. So please stand up when I call your name. Ms. English, she is our art teacher. All of the wonderful artwork that you see around the school, Ms. Ms. English has been leading that. Next we have Ms. Drew Crawford. She is our music teacher. Mr. Wade, he is PE. Mr. Fry is adaptive aquatics. Yes, our students get in the pool as much as possible. Ms. T. Thompson, learning labs, life skills, laundry, cooking. She gets into all of that. Ms. Asmani, back here, transition skills, helping students to self-advocate and express their needs. We also have Ms. Young. Hola. Ms. Young is our multi-language learners teacher, and Ms. Blake, she is our librarian. And as Ms. Hochstein and Ms. Autumn Kelly mentioned before, they are the instructional coaches for these teachers, as well as Dave, LB, and myself. So it truly takes a village to really run this operation, and I'm just so grateful to have such a wonderful team. So with that background, we're now going to move into some of the school policies that are essential for the scholars to be successful and for our partnership to yield the results that we really want to achieve. So I will turn it over to Ms. Andrews. She's going to talk about all things attendance. I just realized she has an attendance committee t-shirt on.
Hello everyone. Once again, I'm Ms. Andrews. All parents probably know about me. If you haven't, you will find out who I am. So first and foremost, I would like to say, doors open for our school at 7:15 a.m. Classes do start at 7:45, with first period starting at 8 o'clock. 7:45, we normally do social emotional learning for the kids. It's a session called Skills where they learn daily living activities as well. So from 7:45 to 8, they have that period. Then from 8 o'clock to 2:15, it's the whole period, the whole day of school. And if your child is absent, please send in a note. My work number is down here, as well as my email. Parents who are familiar with me, y'all use this email left and right. I have numerous excuse notes, as well as this phone number. Please take down my phone number, parents. If you know your student is going to be out, please text this number. I will excuse that absence. I will do what I can to get that absence excuse as well. If your student is late due to transportation, please do not worry. Your student will not be marked absent. They will be excused under a bus code. We know transportation is a lot. We know transportation has been very hectic within this first week of school, so those students have not been marked absent. Also, remember, students have to be present at least 60% of the scheduled school day. Our school has 8 periods. If your student comes after 10:38 a.m., they will be marked absent. Only because DCPS follows the 60-40 rule. So if a student misses more than 40% of the school day, they will be considered absent for the day. And I went over also some new policies. You can now submit excuse notes electronically. However, let me say this, you can still send it in the regular way, writing it down, using the excuse note templates, or you can send it to this email address or this phone number. I will document it, but we can now submit excuse notes electronically if needed. I have instructions in the main office. Also, I will be in the main office after this in case you have any attendance concerns, anything. Also, parents, I know we have a lot of doctor's appointments coming up within the school year with our students. Please just notify me ahead of time so that I can excuse it and put that documentation in so that no consequences or anything has to take place. We want to make sure that we excuse all the absences we want to make sure we can excuse all the absences we can ahead of time. We also want to make sure we document whenever a student is out so that we can have that documentation in our system. And yeah, we just want to stay on top of attendance this year. And that's all. Thank you.
So we're going to move on to our grading policy. And this grading policy is to ensure a balance of equity, access, and rigor. What that means is each student receives instruction that is aligned to grade level standards, but is on the just right level for them to access it, okay? And that's what makes it rigorous and equitable. So we want to ensure that every single student here, we take into consideration their strengths and the areas of need, and we ensure that instruction is provided, they are supported with access, and that we're able to measure what they know. And so we do this with our grading system. We do this through assessments that is 40% of the grade. The students practice an application, so where they are able to do independent practice, their work is graded, and that's 50% of the grade. And also student engagement is 10% of that grade. Policy. So if a student within the progress reporting period, if there are assignments that are not turned in, students allow the opportunity to turn in their assignments so they have until the end of the term to turn in those assignments. Teachers have discretion on how they score late work, but generally they're allowed until the end of term to turn in their work. They're also given the opportunity to revise their work. So if they turn in something, there is opportunity to do it again. However, the highest grade they can get for that piece of revised work would be a C.
Before we go into arrival and dismissal, I just want to name to parents, that the report card that we receive is the same report card as all the students in the district. And if you ever have a question about what those letters mean, just come see us, right? Because as LB mentioned, all of the work is adapted to the students' ability. So an A means that they have worked really hard in class to earn it. And also we encourage that if the students are absent, that as much as possible make up the work, because just like they can receive A's, they also can receive F's, right? That's part of the district grading policy. You don't want to see F's on the report card, ever, right? So teachers have the discretion to assign homework if the student has missed multiple days, and the reason for that is because we want the students to make up the work and to be successful. So again, if you ever have questions about what does this mean, don't hesitate to call on us. We'll be glad to clarify that for you. So next we are going to arrival and dismissal with Dean Taylor.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Goodness gracious. All right, so how y'all doing? My name is Dean Taylor, James Taylor. The students call me JT. They call me Dean Taylor, Mr. Taylor, whatever the case is. I am the Dean of Students. I support the entire building. As a Dean of Students, my primary focus is really our older students and our WDC programs and some of the P-STEP classes. So like I said, I support the entire building, but my focus are most of the older students. As we talk about arrival and dismissal, this is one of those things that's across the board. Our buses actually start showing up around 6:45, 7 o'clock with students. They park on Anacostia Road, and at 7:15, the buses come through the driveway to start dropping students off. Once students arrive, they are assisted by the bus attendant, bus driver. I'm usually out front every morning, usually have some type of support staff that's out front every morning to support those students get into the building. Once they come into the lobby, there's a host of people there to assist to make sure our students then get up to the cafeteria. Breakfast is from, Ms. Andrews already mentioned it, breakfast is from 7:15 to 7:45, and at 7:45, we have an advisory period from 7:45 to 8 o'clock. For our parents who drop their students off, we ask that you not take the same route as our school buses, but that you just go in the next lane, pull up, drop them off. If you want to assist them out and bring them in, that's fine. Maybe one of us are outside, we'll come to the car, assist, and bring them over. So that's for the students who are getting dropped off by their parents. We do have some students who catch the metro. Same process and time for them. The only difference is students who catch the metro do have to clear weapons abatement. So just like their comprehensive school that they went to, when you go into the building, you have to clear and make sure everything is fine. With our students who catch metro, they do have to go through that process, and that started last school year. Dismissal. Dismissal is at 2:15. Once again, sort of in reverse. There's a lot of support to make sure that the students can get on the bus at 2:15. Our buses pull up into the driveway. If you're picking your students up, we ask you again, pull in the next lane, do not pull in the same lane that the buses are traveling in, because there's a lot of movement going on. For our students who get picked up, I just mentioned that for our students who catch the metro, they walk out towards the light. If we sense that anything is going on, any type of situations, I may have heard about some type of conflict or whatever, maybe somebody's going to come up to the school, I would generally try to walk out, at least to Benton Road, and make sure that those students didn't get on the bus. That has happened maybe twice since I've been here. So that's not a major challenge. Cellular device policy. We had a cell phone policy last school year. It has gone district-wide where it's now mandated by the chancellor that every school has to have a cellular device policy. I don't call it cell phone policy, cellular device. That can be a phone, that can be a watch, that can be a tablet, anything that they can use to communicate with the outside and distract them from actually the learning process. We consider that as something that they need to turn in. After breakfast, once they go to class, they turn their device in to either the teacher or the classroom aide. That person will then keep that and lock that up for the entire day. So last year, for our returning parents and our returning students, you would get that back during lunch and recess. That is not an option this school year. They keep it the entire time. All right? So the expectation is, if you know that they are coming to school with that device, make sure that you tell them to turn their device in so we won't have no problems. I'm not going to really go through the first and second and third offense because we are not going to expect that we're going to have offenses, but they are there just in case we need to deal with those infractions. Policy expectations, the exceptions. The exceptions are field trips. If a teacher decides that they want to allow the students to have their phone on a field trip, they will then determine, okay, we're doing this. They may be able to take pictures, they may need for a report, whatever the case is. They'll allow them to take them out. We also have students who have internships. At the teacher's discretion, they'll be allowed to take their phones on their internship. Once again, at the teacher's discretion. Now, if your student is having an issue while they're out, not being able to concentrate on whatever task it is, they may revoke the idea of them having a phone while they're on internship. Any questions about the cellular device policy? All right, feel free to call the school if your son or daughter is having any challenges, feel like they're being bullied, picked on, something violent, fight, whatever the case is, call the building and ask for me. I'll make sure it's taken care of.
Got a question back here.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, JT.
Actually, I have a question. How did ECPS or you guys, whoever came up with the policy, like come up with it? Because I don't really think it's that safe. Like, none of my brother can't communicate with me.
these funds actually get loaded in October, the fiscal year begins, River Terrace is receiving $68,280.50, $64,151.46, sorry, that should be a period, go towards instruction. We have a curriculum program called Everway, which is completely differentiated for our students, and so we use some of those funds to purchase Everway, IXL, other programs that the teachers request or may need to facilitate instruction. We also use those funds to purchase educational supplies. Sometimes our students need switches or they need other devices. So we use funds for that as well, and also to pay for administrative premium when the staff stays after hours to collaborate with each other. So as you can see, the majority of the funds go towards instruction. Then we have $1,004.04, which is for our parent involvement. So if we have any parents that would like to join us for some parent training, we can use the funds for that. If we have any parents that say, I want to start a parent-teacher organization, we can use the funds to pay small stipends for the work that you do to create that organization for us. So please let us know, what is it that you would like to do as a school community, and we'll be glad to use the funds for that. And then we get $3,125 to continue to enhance the skills and effectiveness of our educators and our leaders. And again, since these are federal funds, I am required to report it out to you. You'll probably get the same information again in November and then in March, because we just want to make sure that we are fully transparent with how we're using the funds that are allocated to our school. And so with that, we want to partner with you. So, LB, you want to do the slide? She's like, I don't know. What you talking about?
So it says there that we believe parents and families are the most critical partners in making education meaningful for our students. And we really do believe that you are the experts. And so we want to partner with you in order to ensure that everything that needs to be considered, the things that your student needs, the things that the student responds to, we can incorporate them at school in order to ensure that they are successful. We are also committed to ensuring that every student has an appropriate IEP. That means that we provide assessments. We don't only look at what the students need, but we build those IEPs on what the students can do. And so we also want to ensure that we are exposing them to grade level content, but we are also ensuring that they are able to access on their levels to ensure that they're receiving an appropriate education. We also want to make sure that we have open communication with you and you feel that you are a part of the process, and that anytime you have a concern or anytime you think there's something that may contribute to that learning process, that you feel open, free, and you have access to us to be able to speak with us about it. Okay? So, as I was saying, we request that your commitment to the communicating high expectations always. Like I said, we don't look at your students in terms of deficit, but what they can do, and so we push them based on what we know they can do. We ensure that we set appropriate, achievable goals, and we support them with meeting those goals. We also want to ensure that your child attends school every day and gets to school on time. We talk about having a sense of belongingness, and we recognize that when a child feels that they are part of, they feel loved, they feel supported, they will want to come to school. So they will be more likely to wake up in the morning. I know it's an early bus ride, and so the motivation to come may also help with the process of getting them ready to be there. We also want you to attend parent-teacher conferences. And those, we have a couple of those in the school year, but we also want you to know if at any time you want to set up a conference with your student's teacher, that you have the ability to call, make that appointment in order to conduct that conference. We also want you to participate on the local school advisory team. That is a team that we have here where we plan, and we want to get your perspective on what you think is necessary for your student to succeed here at school and also when they leave us. We also want to start you to think about, as Dr. Spada said, becoming a member of the parent-teacher organization. We have a couple of parents who have expressed interest, and we definitely want to see a little more or hear from a little more of you in supporting us with getting that organization off the ground. So as we collaborate with our school parent-teacher engagement, we are going to continue to collaborate with them to kind of get your feedback, to get your participation towards this parent-teacher organization. Is happening this year. Alrighty, we also have our related service providers. We cannot do this work. We cannot do this work, the work of supporting our students with access. They are the ones who support us with this. And we have quite a team here. Some are here, and so if I call your name and you're here, just wave your hand. We have Mrs. P. Davis. She's one of our speech language pathologists. We have Ms. J. McDonald. Yes. SLP extraordinaire. And also Ms. Schrain, our speech and language pathologist. We also have another great occupational therapist, Ms. Goodson. And we also have Ms. Goodman, another occupational therapist, and we share her with another school in DCPS. We also have Dr. Antoine here, our physical therapist. And we also have a vision teacher. He's itinerant, he's not with us right now. He's on paternity leave, but he is covered to ensure that our students who have vision needs are able to access instruction. We also have an orientation and mobility teacher, and we also have Dr. Wallace, who is our audiologist. It takes our team. It takes great collaboration. It takes co-treatment. Our team here, they have the approach of co-treatment, so they all come together and they go into the classrooms to support the teachers, with our students being able to access instruction within the classroom. And we also have our wonderful partners that we introduced earlier.
About the partners, but why don't I just let you introduce yourself so everybody knows who you are.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brenda Davis. I work for the Department of Disability Services. I assist district residents age 18 and older who are diagnosed with an intellectual or developmental disability before the age of 22. I help them apply for services if they're deemed eligible for services and live in the District of Columbia. They're eligible for a lifetime. Even if they move out to DC and come back in, they can reapply for services.
Hi everybody, I am Shadana Tribbett. I'm with RSA under DES. I am the rehabilitation counselor, well, one of them who is assigned here. We help your students find employment, get them ready for employment, and provide pre-ed services, and we all come into the school throughout the week and meet with them. What else? I think that's it. That's mostly, but we come in and meet with your students to prepare them for employment. And it's myself and another counselor, Ms. Cynthia. And Brooke is along with us.
Hello, my name is Brooke Claiborne, and I am with Rehabilitation Services Administration, Youth and Transition Services.
hats, but today I'm here with our pre-employment transition program. And I work with the conference to help support them in their efforts to keep their children employed. And I enjoy the work that we do, and I also work with Ms. Davis to assist her.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm with Disability Rights DC. We're the protection and advocacy agency for people with disabilities in the district. We can help connect you to services, or we can help you maintain your services, or if you want to file a complaint, feel like your rights have been violated. We also assist with that for free of service.
Oh, yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Allison. I'm here with my colleague Eli, and we are from School Talk. We provide a wide range of services. Thank you. We provide a wide range of services to help young people get ready for careers, and so that can look like in-class workshops. Part of my role is bringing students out to workplace tours. And we also have our summer internship program. Teachers, if you are interested, please come find us. We have lots of good materials. We would love to talk to you about ways we can collaborate. We also do a lot of work in the arts and music. Come talk to him. We would love to find ways that we can collaborate this year.
So parents, I hope that you see it truly takes all of us to serve your children, and we are here to serve, and we do it with a lot of love and a lot of care and a lot of collaboration with resources and partners outside of our doors. So before we dismiss, so you can go meet the teachers, are there any questions? All right, so there's a question. Oh, okay, so definitely stop by these tables, get to know the service providers, as well as the related service providers. Up here, you see the room number for your child's teacher. If you're not sure who your child's teacher is, please find us. We'll be glad to let you know. There's also a QR code. Christine, there's a QR code on the door. On the door?
Yep, one hand on the outside.
So there's a QR code on the door. If you would be so kind to scan it on your way out and give us some feedback, let us know, what do you want? What do you want to do? What kind of activities would you like us to have with you as our families? And how can we remain engaged for the remainder of the year? All right, so thank you so much for being here. At this time, we are going to transition to visit the classrooms and also to get to know our partners. Thank you so much. Yes, if you want, please take a picture so you'll know room numbers.
No, I can't do it.
Oh, yeah? Can I be that up here? Her.
I'm good. I'm gonna push it till we off the gym floor. I'm gonna push it till we off the gym floor. Yeah, this part of that bed is dead. The spray having to do is dead.
Yeah, okay, so that's the same. So, yeah, but I heard you say something about yeah, she knows she prints all day. And then also, she likes all of that.
Thank you for letting me have the chair. Appreciate it.